down and see how you can resolve issue. We all go into court. So we use the ADR program to trying to rebuild public trust in the justice system by providing something other than litigation. Sometimes litigation takes times.
Yeah.
It can be very costly too.
And broadens the court's
It
docket.
broadens the court docket, you see. So ordinary citizens look for eternity. We try to, through ADR, you reduce case backlog, docket overcrowdedness, prolong pretrial detention, because when people for pretrial issues, they stay in detention for a long time, it leads to prison overcrowdedness.
Yeah.
So we're trying to see how through the ADR program we can resolve all that. We have it set up and thing for any kind of matter. If the party consent and thing, you can do an ADR, mediation, arbitration, whatever. Mostly we concentrate on mediation, where the party will agree, look, that take it from court. So we'll sit down, you call somebody, either through the Ministry of Justice or other people who everybody respect and different can sit down and talk the matter, or everybody agree to the terms. Another unit we have,
and that ADR process mainly is for civil matter, right?
If for civil matter, but also you got to understand, let's say if to prosecute a matter, you need somebody, the private prosecutor will call them. That would be the witness and thing.
Yeah.
If that person is not willing to come up and prosecute, you don't have a case.
Yeah.
So ADR can also be used in a way for criminal matter.
Oh, okay.
Instead of going to court, people can sit down and think. We don't like to try to resolve criminal matter, but sometimes it is done. But the parties agree.
Are there exceptions? Like, for example, a case like rape, murder.
You won't try to mediate and thing or rape and thing.
Yeah. Okay.
We want to eradicate it from our society. So we won't attempt that. We advise not attempt that people should be persecuted for rape. Another unit they will have our correctional system.
Yeah.
The Bureau of Correction and Rehabilitation. They're in charge of the prison system. We have 16 prisons around the country. They take care of the inmates and things. We have rehabilitation programs at the federal prison in Liberia. People engage in tailoring. We have agriculture that is done in Grand Jide County. We show the inmates baking, soap making, and we have an adult literacy program. We have the totally so huge for our country. We would say huge, but relatively now, but it's got about 3,780 inmates right now in prison. But unfortunately, across the country. But unfortunately,
3,000 what?
3,780.
Oh.
But unfortunately, most of them are pre-trial detainees. You see, the law is this. If you are arrested, a radar arrest is issued for you, and you taken to the court, be it the ministerial code, the circuit codes, to obtain your freedom, you have to put up a bond. If you don't put up a bond, you are remitted to jail. Most people can come up with a bond, so they are sent to jail. The judge also has the rationale on the law provide that you can let people go free if they maybe somebody can stand for them, or you recognizing the prominent person in society and then the person will come. But sometimes when the judge does that, the people escape. They don't come back. Then the whole population, when they go for the court the case, the people not around it, what they say, they accuse the judges of doing something.
Yeah.
Oh, the people getting something, anything, that why the man. Now the poor judge, so the judges try to prevent that. They don't do it. They initially don't want to do it. They say bring your bond. You can't bring bond the same to jail. Just imagine, in Monrovia alone, you know how many cases we have go to the magistrate court every day. So 10 cases go, let's say 10 cases a day go to the Monrovia City Court. 10 person arrested, 10 person cannot get a bond. They just send the 10 to jail. You see how the pre-trial detention, detainees, the rate will increase. So we have a situation in which sometimes we try to on a regular business with the courts and thing, we try to see how we hear some of those cases, and then sometimes some people stay in jail too long for minor offenses. How we can get an early release and thing to reduce
Yeah.
The amount of inmates.
Yeah, just looking at the numbers here, I mean, 3,780 prisoners across the country with 16 prisons nationwide. I mean, there's a need to build more prison facilities, right?
Oh, there's a huge need to build more prison facilities. The first thing, most of the facility we're using at prison were not constructed for prison. Was it the homes and things that we rented out that we using and things that we started using for prison, so they're not constructed. And all of them are overcrowded. The city out the Moria Central Prison, that was a place that was built initially maybe for 300 plus, let's say 400 inmates, but now a housing 1,545 person. Yes. So based where it's situated, and not much you can do for expansion. You need to build a new facility. So the government, the Ministry of Justice, have obtained land long time, I think 2013, in Chismabury, 27 acres. I visited it the other day. The land is there. It's just that we have to find the resources and build a modern prison facility that will ease the overcrowdedness. And we're working on that, trying to see how we can get friends and partners and things to assist the government or the bureau in constructing the facility.
Yeah, for me, I think for overcrowdedness to happen, it means that there is a high frequency of the commission of crimes in the country. Crimes are being committed.
No, I mean, you got to look at the amount, 3,000 plus prisoners for a population of 5.something million. I mean, it look huge, but you see the amount of the population of the country, in that relatively compared to other countries and other jurisdictions, that high. But for us, our city would say it high. But then you will know that most of the people there are pre-trial detainees. They haven't been sentenced, tried, and sentenced. So once you reduce the amount of pre-trial detainees, that number will decrease drastically. So we got to work on the pre-trial detention.
And the situation at the Monrovia Central Prison, just still sticking at overcrowdedness, is the Monrovia Central Prison. One of the problems we've gotten from there is lack of food for these inmates who are there, who are crammed at those small rooms in the prison facility. Is the Justice Ministry doing something regarding that? Not just at the Monrovia Central Prison, but also
all around. You too, we talk about 16 prison facilities. You have to feed the inmates. And sometimes due to resources allocation, it takes a while in getting food across the 16 counties. Let's say a bad road condition, the rain season, how will you get food easily to the southeast? And that's a problem. So then sometimes there's just the process. You have the PPCC regulation and rules you have to follow. You got to get paid, go through problem and thing, and the people have to eat.
So what's been done to remedy that?
We're trying to improve in graduate. There's a big improvement. The food have been delivered. The people have food.
Okay.
It's not only food, you see. The resources you need medical. The prison facility they have many clinics and things there. You need that to be staffed. You need adequate drugs. There are also some of the clinics and things, certain cases they cannot handle. You have to transfer the inmates to a bigger facility and take care of them. These facilities have to be paid. So it's a whole issue and thing that we have to focus on and prioritize.
I mean, just putting words, I mean, the challenges that you inherited at the in the whole justice sector at the Justice Ministry. What are other issues? We talked about overcrowded, pre-trial detention and all that.
In respect to the prison?
Yep.
Yeah, there are many other issues like we need the vehicles.
Okay.
Sometimes we experience problem in transporting prisoners from the prison facility to the courts. Lack of vehicle, sometimes the problem with fuel and maintenance, everything. It's a whole it's a problem, but we're trying to gradually solve a different thing, and we try to talk with the responsible government agency to see how more can be allocated to do the work we do. Okay. But at the prison, I think some good things we have through the help of our partners, the INI, the ABA. We have a national prison database now, the digitized prison records. We connected to all 16 prisoners, so we know exactly who all are in jail. All the inmates in jail, we have
a record of
have
them.
record. You can tell us now. We search your jail in less than 24 hours. We can give you the information. We got people, even nationals, who can tell how many foreign nationals we got in the prison, compound, everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're listening to the Super Morning Show. We have in studio Justice Minister Councillor Osfat Tweh.
Yeah, and another unit, some other units we have the public safety. That department is really keen on looking at public safety issues in the country. We have safety inspector that work alongside with Jones Security, with the monitor public safety violation, ensure compliance. We have the security guard companies in the country. That division is in charge of them. They have to give them the permit and to operate. So we have that. Public safety also the public safety tax combating drugs and substance abuse. We have the SGBV program.
Okay.
It is the unit within the ministry that deals with the persecution of sexual and gender-based violence in the country. It's a very significant division. All the things like rape and domestic abuse and other things fall under it. They start the process. Somebody is investigated, is arrested, investigated, indicted. We proceed to trial, and we try to get conviction. So where we start investigation start, until we have a one-stop center, certain place around the country, like the JFK, where the victim would be there, examined by the nurse, by the medical practitioner, the police and team would be there to talk to them and get all the information to prosecute. The increase of rape in the country is something that we all have to try to guard against. The main thing is the perception, our traditional values and thing we have to deal with that. So our people is something like shame.
Yeah, and not compromised.
Yeah, shame. You want the name of your daughter or relative to be exposed that she was raped. You figure it will hinder her ability to have a future relationship. People will shy away from her and things. So all these things gotta be looked into. And so we try not for people to understand you can't compromise this. They have to be dealt with. And we see that people hear the cases and things. Sometimes it's shocking me. See people say they rape an 11-year-old baby and stuff and things like that. You wonder and think, well, there's a psychological problem here with the issue. For the SGBV unit in Mosrado County, we have dealt with 7 rape cases. They went to full trial. Well, we won one of them and think the other are pending.
Okay.
We have some sexual assault cases. Sometimes we counsel the people who receive psychosocial support. What we also have, we have safe houses.
Okay.
You see a victim of rape and thing, you want them to be in the community and maybe they see the person accused and thing, you want to keep them somewhere. People
like a safe home.
Safe home. Domestic violence. You want to move them from that home and different thing where they are being abused and thing, where you can keep them so that nobody can trace anything. And again, resources. Those homes got to be maintained, got to be staffed. You have to have counselor talking to them, and that's something we do.
Okay.
And we also have our human rights department.
Okay.
Which
I mean, farm programs at the Ministry of Justice, Minister. Quite frankly, these are programs that they do exist, but we never knew about them. But the issue has been getting them functioning and getting them functioning and effective, so that when they play the role, the Justice Ministry will be effective. So what's happening to get them functioning, starving, like you said, the safe home? I mean, that will be working closely with the Gender Ministry to ensure that is done. So what are you doing? What are your plans to ensure that they are effective, they are functioning, and all those programs they are running?
Basically, right now, the programs are functioning, they are up and running. Well, our biggest problem is sustainability. Most of the program we have started here, I think, with the help of our partners and donors, but they don't fund a program in perpetuity forever.
Yeah.
They have to cut off sometime. So when the funding run off, they cut off, it left for the government had to continue the program. And most of the time we can't find the resources to continue. So we start a program and then it go beautifully for 3-4 years.
And when the donor pulls out,
the trouble. So we need to step in because the programs are good for the country. You have to continue. Our biggest challenge, sustainability. The staff have to be paid. You have to have the infrastructure. You have to have regular training.
But it's a sustainable plan being developed.
Yes, we are putting together our 5-year strategic plan in the Ministry of Justice and things that will include all these components.
There are regional security hubs. I understand you visited the one in Banga.
Yes.
The other day. I mean, over the years, those regional security hubs constructed during the administration of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, but over the years they've been in ruins. You know, I know about the one in Banga because I'm from there. I visit there. What are the conditions now, and what are the plans to get them functioning? Because the full functioning of those regional hubs is a safeguard for security, where the regions where they find themselves.
I won't say they are in ruins. They are there, and the whole plan of the regional hubs was that, look, instead of every time there's an incident anywhere outside Montserrado County or there, you have to bring security personnel from Montserrado County and take them to the areas. You establish the regional hubs that the security personnel live, work from anything, so they can be a rapid response force for anything where they will all come away to Monrovia to get personnel. So the concept was very good. It is being implemented, but again, basically, they have to be sustained. They have to be sustained. I was in Banga the other day and visited the regional hub. Again, you see, they need logistic. You can't have like one pickup there for at the regional hub. So again, one pickup not sufficient. If 3 incidents occur in, let's say, one in Lofa, one in Nima, one in Bum, with one vehicle to transport men or anything, that could be problematic. You need logistic. You need to make sure the accommodation is befitting our security personnel. You need to make sure that they are adequately taking care of the food-wise and everything. You need to keep it up. But the infrastructure is there. The idea is good. We have to keep it running, functional. We can't drop the ball on that. And we don't intend to. So we're working at that. Yeah.
That will mean that increased budgetary allotment for the ministry.
Yes.
Are you praying on the legislature to do that?
Yeah, before we get to the legislature, we go to the executive branch of government through the Ministry of Finance. Okay. A certain thing we got to give priority to. Yeah.
Okay. Now, you talk about 32 cases that have been prosecuted. They shall have honor your term. Do we have pending cases?
Oh yeah.
The prosecution of.
I can't give you a number of them, but there are pending cases. Yes.
And notably amongst them.
I can't say notably which one, but we do have pending cases.
Okay.
Yeah.
But over the years, the prosecution has some not very good reputation because government has lost high-profile cases, and you know about the drug, the 1 million. You know, so what on your watch? What are you doing to ensure strong government defense and prosecution? And all boils down to the adducement of evidence and all that.
Right. But the main important thing, take your time, no knee-jerk reaction. Government should be very slow in bringing the case to a case to court. The thing is not to persecute people, but to show that justice is meted out. So you have to gather your evidence. You have to have put your ducks in order and make sure when you go to court, you have a serious chance of winning the matter. Yeah, basically that's what we intend to do. in legal practice and things, that not all the cases you win. That now you can't win all the cases. You try to win all the cases. To ensure the percentage of winning is high, you do your homework. Because they gathering the evidence and presentation of the case, that way the case is lost or won. If the evidence bad, of course the court will dismiss the case, or the jury will acquit the person. But the evidence is strong and compelling, most often you will win. Yeah, but again, that prosecution need the resources to do the work.
Has it been lacking?
Yes, right now we kind of constrained. We have the prosecution fund. Every time a court open, you have to have money set aside that the county attorney in the various counties can use. Because if you carry a case to court, you have to obtain witnesses to come and testify. If the witness is living some distance away from where the court is located, you have to bring him to that place. You have to provide for him accommodation. You have to feed him or while the case is ongoing. If you don't have the resources, you may not get the best evidence for the case. Our prosecutor and things need cars. Thankfully, through the legislature and the Ministry of Finance, they have allocated an amount that we're right now in the process of getting some vehicles for our county attorney and prosecutor, so they can be able to easily move around things in doing their work. It's shameful to see county attorneys and things riding and bike, as we say, pimping, to get from point A to point B. That is not very good for our justice system.
But is there a need to do some reshuffle of government prosecution team, government lawyers?
We initially look into that. The SG handles that, and think to see whether he need to change around county attorney and different things. But I must say the prosecutor and county attorney with a limited resource have been doing a very good job. We must praise them. They've been doing exceedingly well. We other thing we look at some relocation. If you take a county attorney from a roof, you reassign to a county, you have to give him. He got to find somewhere to stay. You have to give him something for him to relocate successfully over there and live there. Otherwise, I think he lay money and thing you pay him. That's why he's gonna take and thing to live in that new environment. So all the things are being worked out.
But how committed is the executive, notably the president, to give you all these resources to strengthen government prosecution and all that? I mean, is there a commitment and a political will to make available the resources in order?
I can say emphatically there is a commitment, political will. The president is completely committed to seeing that the Ministry of Justice have all the resources. But we know the envelope that have all the thing is the resources limited. So dividing them somewhere and become a tussle and different thing. But we are constantly appealing to the Ministry of Finance to increase our allotment thing. But the president is completely and totally committed.
Okay. Minister, the Liberian National Police, quite frankly, under the authority of the IG, has been doing extremely well, instilling professionalism and rigging in public trust. But also, the police have come under some criticism for, the unfortunate deaths of civilians, for example, confrontation between police officer, police officer parading with firearm, off duty and all that. What's happening with the police?
I don't think the problem is what's happening with the police. As you said, the police are doing a tremendous job. Sometimes things happen and things incidentally that we all regret. That anything happened that any civilian, any Liberian, the death of any Liberian is highly regrettable. It is not intentional. It has not all been planned to happen, but things go wrong sometimes.
And they erode public trust too.
Yes. So that's why we're trying to do most community policing for people to understand the police will be a friend, not an enemy. But when the police give command and order, we as citizens have to obey it. Because they're there for their authority in charge of securing the peace. So the police stop you and say, go left and not right. You cannot insist that you won't go right.
Are people disobeying the police order?
Sometimes people do.
It's on the increase.
Sometimes people do. something it seems to be an increase, especially in the issue like mob violence and thing. There's a situation where people gather an issue and thing, and but again enact so quickly. But by erupt and thing, we see incident people. You have a car accident, maybe a result to death, and by the time you look, the crowd jump on the vehicle and set it ablaze. We got to restore and trust in the justice system, give the justice system time to work, to see it, tolerate, have patience. Don't take the law in your own hands. But the police are doing a good job, a tremendous job. Again, the police don't intentionally go out to harm people, but they're there to make sure things are orderly in society. But sometimes the police, sometimes the reaction of the crowd, the police, if you try to attack a policeman off you, you'll defend himself. You'll defend yourself. Either he defend himself or he walk away and let you walk away and commit all the crimes and things. So the situation, but the police have been trained continuously on how to handle these situations and things. Sometimes decisions got to be made in a split second. It's a whole thing that got to be studied holistically, not to a portion for or blame. Again, it's regrettable when anybody die, anybody hurt.
Yeah, because the death of a civilian in Broadview was just a police officer and a civilian in confrontation.
Yeah.
But again, he shot that civilian and the civilian. I mean, cases like that, it's not a mob file.
Again, that is regretted. The police is investigating it. Normally, when the police investigate, because the police investigating one of its own, you want people to have confidence in that. So within the police system, we have what we call the police civilian complaint board, comprising just civilians outside the police. They will take that report, they will look at it and do their own independent investigation, either confirm that report or rubbish it. The police can be judge, jury, executor, a different thing. No. So that process has been done to review the work of the police. But sometimes, as I said, it's regrettable. Sometimes officers misbehave. And whenever that is found out, they are brought to book.
So what's been discussed behind the scenes to ensure that that doesn't happen, civilian dying at the expense of police?
We just have to do more awareness to the police. Constant training, constant workshop, and seminars to tell them the rules and duties of the police officer, how to prevent these kind of incidents.
Okay. You want to put in context the state of the country's security. I know you're part of the security architecture. What's the state of the country's security as we speak?
I don't understand when you say state.
What's the condition? Is the country peaceful?
The country is
security tight, and
the country is peaceful.
Reassurance and
the country is peaceful. The security is intact. The securities are ready and prepared to address anything that may come up.
Okay. Very short reassurance, Minister. But let's talk about concessions agreements and all that. About some of the agreements that require legal imports. Say, for example, the issue of Western Cluster, the MOU, and all that. What's your own take about reviewing contractual or concessional agreements between the government of Liberia and concession companies?
Right. Concession agreements are done with investors wishing to invest in certain sector of our country, be it the mining, the forestry, agriculture, or whatsoever. So in the process, the president ordered a review of all concession agreements. You got to understand that government is continuity. One government signed agreement, the other government cannot come and disavow it. That would not be good for the country and thing. But if there are reasons, breaches and violation of certain rules, the government has the ability to do that. But you don't want to send the wrong signal to the investor that Liberia is a country, and anything you sign is not worth the paper it is written on. That'll be a very negative posture for the country. But we're in the process of reviewing all concession agreement.
And during the revision process, what's being considered?
Everything will be considered. Everything will be considered. The compliance side, you have the Bureau of the National Bureau of Concession, with local compliance, tax compliance, social corporate responsibility compliance, and safety compliant with safety requirement regulation. If you have the obligation, responsibility, or concessionaire to build and operate schools and hospitals and things, whether you are in compliance with that. Yeah. So everything will be looked at.
Okay, so when does that revision come to an end?
No, I definitely can say when it comes to an end.
It's a continuous process.
A continuous process.
Yeah. The Attorney General is the only cabinet minister that can legally disagree with the president on law issues. Have you disagreed with the president before?
Oh, the Attorney General, you're right, can disagree with the president on law issues.
Have you done so?
No, that have been no need.
If there is one, will you?
Oh, if there is one and my legal views different, I will. I will express it to the president. I will express, as I say, I will express it to the president, not to the public.
Okay. Yeah. And of course, the president has been taking some decisions that have some legal ramifications. Say, for example, the tenure positions. Then the suspension of the CBL executive governor, Aloysius Talu. And these decisions have also have some backfiring. How are you legal adversary team to the president, advising the president on these issues that have legal ramifications so that they don't backfire and make it look like, the president is not properly being legally advised?
Well, it depends when people say properly legally advised. Everything is left for determination of the courts. Every legal person have different understanding of the law and the interpretation of the law, and the Supreme Court is the final person that will say what the law is. So I don't think the president has been improperly advised by his legal team.
But they've been challenged to those decisions.
There will be challenges and everything. Decision will be challenged. Decision will be overturned by the Supreme Court. What you mean the president has been improperly legally advised?
Weighing on this specific issue with the executive governor of CBL, Aloysius Talu, he ran to court. I think he filed a lawsuit against the government for wrongful. According to the CBL Act, he cannot be removed by the president. I think it's a tenure position. What's your whole interpretation of what he's doing?
Well, that matter is before the Chamber of Justice. So I think it will not be in my place and think it will be contemptuous to pass on anything right now. I think that matter.
What about tenure positions?
I think the president has the right authority as the administrative head to appoint and remove people working as like the branch of government.
But there's a law, the tenure law.
The Supreme Court passed it and say people with tenure cannot be, except the law provide for reason like cause and things cannot be removed. So honor and respect, obey the Supreme Court's opinion.
But especially with the LTA, I mean, the decision taken was purely administrative. It was not.
The president, as the head of the executive branch of the government, has the right to take administrative decision.
Let's talk about the audit, the whole audit. It's been described by those affected or indicted, some as a witch hunt. What do you say?
I think we effectively answered that yesterday at a press briefing.
No, this is ELBC.
Yeah, I know. I had a press briefing which I explained to the public. Especially the arrest of individual with involved with issues that happen at the Financial Intelligence Agency. Try to explain and see what happened. It's not a wish hunt. What do we have against another Liberian citizen? The wish hunt, especially our concept coming from the private sector and with no very cost to do that. And you got to understand, like the LACC, all the members of LACC were appointed by the past administration. So that anything they should be maybe protecting, we say that image, where they come up with a report, a negative report. Are they wishing people? If the GAC, who's again, everybody there appointed by past administration, they come up with audit report, how can that be a wish hunt? Now the GAC have come up with a lot of audit reports. We have set up a committee that is reviewing the audit reports. And when they come and each entity or government and they find any kind of anything bordering on criminality, additional charges will be filed against people. I stated there yesterday, all spending entity or government will be audited by the GAC. And I've said that the Ministry of Justice will be the first spending entity that will be audited. So the GAC will be auditing the Ministry of Justice, all spending entity. If they come out with a report that shows that things were done inappropriately, illegally, unlawfully, charges will be filed.
Are more indictments coming based on the other reports?
We don't know yet. So they are being reviewed.
Okay.
They are being reviewed. And we will make that determination.
Okay. And the former president saying that this is a pure target against his party and former officials of his administration, those who served him. What do you say to that?
I mean, with all due respect to the former president, I can assure him that is not true. No one is being targeted. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think anybody in the executive branch of government is targeting anybody. It's not nobody being targeted. It's just what the report says and where it leads. It will be investigated, the report, criminality will be brought about. So if you work in government and you figure you clean, you haven't done anything, nobody should worry. You shouldn't be worried at all. We're not just arbitrarily reaching out and grabbing people or having evidence and taking them and charging them and arresting them. That will not be done under my watch. I assure the public of that.
And again, when that case, any of the corruption case goes to court, again, you government will be prosecuting.
Yes.
It comes back to preparedness. How prepared is prosecution?
Prosecution is very prepared, very much prepared.
Prepared in what sense?
In every sense. We have the legal expertise. We have the ability to conduct adequate, competent investigation. We have the manpower to do that. And we think we'll do a pretty good job.
It's not just the manpower, Minister. It's also the adequacy of evidence.
That's it. If there's no evidence to link anybody with anything, that person will never be charged. Because you won't take a case to court just because you want somebody to be charged or there's a public outcry and thing. No. You can't take a case to court, you don't have sufficient evidence just for the case to be dismissed. If there's no sufficient, there's inadequate evidence, a case will not be taken to court.
No matter how grave the crime is?
The graveness of the crime is different from the evidence. Because everything is allegation that somebody committed a crime. To show that he committed a crime, you got to have the evidence that will link him to the crime. If the evidence not there, you may think he committed a crime, but how will you prosecute it? So it's just to show that the thing we are being meticulous, we are being detailed, we are being thorough. We got no beef with anybody. And on my watch, I say again, nobody, if the evidence doesn't show that a crime was committed, it will not be taken to court. Our duty, our aim, and the whole intention of the Ministry of Justice, the whole thing, is not just to take to the court, it's to meet up justice, to make sure that justice is done.
And you don't want to build a reputation of losing cases, right?
Of course, nobody loves that. Nobody loves that.
The Public Accounts Committee at the legislature has advised the executive not to take up or draw up an indictment against individual based on the other reports if you haven't read the other reports enough to garner evidence. What do you say to the PAC committee?
I think it's in line with what I just said. That all the reports that committee have been set up and they are reviewing the other report. It will come up. So they're right. You have to read the audit report to know where it says.
But they miss reading your position. They think that you join up an indictment without thoroughly and carefully reading those audit reports.
I haven't indicted anybody yet. Anybody to quote on any audit report. So I don't know what they're alluding to.
Okay.
They those who are arrested based on what FIA was an investigation conducted by the LACC and the Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
Not resolve an audit report.
Okay. You're listening to the Super Morning Show. We'll attempt to take calls, Minister, but I was just looking at the ministries and prosecution, because it seems as if bulk of the work that you do is purely prosecution, because there where you pay a lot of attention trying to get evidence to prosecute cases and ensure that government has built itself a reputation of winning cases. As we speak, what have been done to build public trust? I know the judicial branch of government will do theirs, but what have you done, government, to build public trust in the justice system?
That is a continuous work. It's a process. We have to make people aware. We have to be seen that we are transparent, that we have integrity. That what I talk about community policing and thing. We have to be seen, the police have to be seen a friend of the people. Be within the community, see what their needs and wants, how you can help them. And again, you say it's a serious tax of building trust in the justice system, but it's something we can't stop doing. We have to allow the justice system to work. So the onus is on us as government officials and member of the executive branch of government, member of the Ministry of Justice, to continue this embark on the schools, building public trust. It should be seen in our department, in how we conduct ourselves, in how we handle matters and things.
The independence of the judiciary amidst political pressure. Has there been a case where political, manipulations having a toll on the independence of the judiciary or the work you do?
Since I've been in the Ministry of Justice, no, I don't know about any instance in which the executive apply pressure on the judiciary. We have a very good working relationship with the judiciary.
Okay. Just before we take calls, you want to weigh in on the whole idea of the War on Economic Crimes Court. The civil society and the orator had called for the current executive director of that office to be the appointment to be withdrawn, but the president has issued a statement reaffirming his confidence in the appointment, and that rumor that he was even withdrawn from the office is false and misleading. Do they have a point to call for his withdrawal, given all the controversies that they put around him and all that?
I won't say whether they have a point or not. I would say everything that come up and thing from the city's people is taken into consideration. The government look into it, and they look into it to see whether is something that need to be taken further and thing. But now the president made an appointment after due deliberation and diligence and everything. If people think there's an outcry about the appointment thing, the government will be looking into it and then see.
But what's the status of that office?
The executive director was appointed and he is working. Yeah. He just traveled to the United States and I think he has returned.
On behalf of the office?
On behalf of the office.
Okay. What for?
To talk, to meet the necessary entities of government thing and talk about the workings of the code, how the intention of setting it up and thing, and the resources that may be needed to facilitate the smooth working when he finally set up. Yeah, because you see, he have to do everything and make recommendation to the Ministry of Justice about the code, how it will be set up, what model will be used, or venues, everything, and employees, staff, and everything, and make recommendation to the government that we review and look at.
What technical support can the Ministry of Justice give to that office? I mean, technically, it's under the Ministry of Justice, I guess.
No, it's not under the Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
Because we want it to be independent. Okay. But they will make that recommendation. They will make that report to the Ministry of Justice. So if they need technical support again, we got to be very careful because you want to see as government interference in this body that's supposed to be independent in arriving at a decision and making recommendation. So we have to be careful there.
But it still does have some political lineage because the head was appointed by a political figure, the president. So you can't divulge any politics from the running of the office anyway.
I don't think you say political lineage, maybe, but I don't know. I don't think the president even really know Mr. Councillor Massaquoi. Maybe he may have dealt with him and think, but to say the close relationship and thing, the president act upon recommendation and thing after review, due diligence and thing. Yeah.
So what is the difference between the operation of that court and the action government will take on other reports that have corruption and economic sabotage and all that?
Well, I think your question should wait until the recommendation have been made by the office of the War Economic Crime Code and thing. And based upon that recommendation, then the government will know how to proceed. Yeah.
Okay. So let's take calls, Minister. You're listening to the Super Morning Show. This is the Super Morning Show. We have in studio Councillor Osfar Tuer, Justice Minister, Attorney General, Republic of Liberia. My name is Vafle Kamara. Call us on 0770581886, 0770581886, 0886-931-744, 0886-931-744. Quite frankly, the short answers to my questions can make it difficult, honestly. But let's take a few calls, Minister. Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yes, let me disagree with the Attorney General in the LTA case. The Supreme Court ruled, and they said the nomination of the president of those that currently serve should be revoked. The president gave a press release and said, yes, he respects the Supreme Court. On the next day, he reappointed the same people, revoking. In other words, he ran out the opinion of the Supreme Court law enforced. Secondly, the AG, I disagree again when he says that the police have been professional. They can judge situation. And what happened at the CDC headquarters and the killing of Mohammed on Sunday, the police, this didn't happen. These are extrajudicial killing. Also, again, he tried to play safe in the issues of concerning the issue of the audit report. It's not a place of the executive to go and ask. It should wait for the PAC committee, according to the act and statute that created the GSC. After they have gone through it, they will return the report back to the president before he acts. But instead, they are jumping ahead. So if we want a fight against corruption, they have a lot of things to fight against. So they themselves must handle it. So he must speak concerning the situation. Was that not a threat to the peace of Liberia?
Okay, let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, family, and let me say good morning to the Justice Minister in studio and good morning to Liberian as well following the broadcast. My name is Aloysius P. Fomo Jr. and I put in this morning from Unification City in Lower Magidi County. Let me say thanks to the Minister for his elucidation this morning, and I think it's a good step and a good approach from this government towards the fight against corruption. And finally, calling spade a spade, the culture of impunity has engulfed Liberia. It is one of the factors that is holding Liberia back in terms of development, where people or government officials will engage themselves into corrupt activities. At the end of the day, we leave them to go with impunity. But my only issue I have with the government, I'm calling on the Justice Minister. We don't want this particular regime to be like in the past where government will take cases and they lose most of those cases. Like in one instance, currently we have so many issues in our country. Like if you see the former central bank governor, Aloysius Taro, has taken flight to the Supreme Court. I don't know whether you can address this issue and give a people assurance that they will not lose most of these cases like we observed in the past. Thank you for having me this morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning. Call us on 0770581886. 0770581886. Good morning.
Good morning, Vafle, and good morning to the Honorable Minister.
Yeah, let's hear you.
My name is Fode Mohammed Kakwe, political admin, and I join you from Claratown District number 14 at the Movement for Intellectual Exchange.
Yes, 30 seconds.
Mr. Minister, a few days ago, Martin K. published a letter with lot of supporting documents in regards to the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Mr. Sylvester Crispin, communicating with you on a company called the Chrono Engineering Company, asking your ministry to accord them the necessary support.
Okay.
How can you speak to that?
Okay.
And unless that the company is not a company even in Ghana.
Okay, he will speak to that. Good morning.
Good morning, Robin.
Yep.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity this morning. Let me say thank you to the minister this morning for your level of exposure on your radio. But then I want to disagree with the minister this morning on ground that the war in economic crisis we believe that it will not be an independent institution, because remember the guy who was appointed by the president, he was appointed, you do things in the way and pleasure of the president. So if you want to do things, you should find somebody who is trying to come and take over the institution, not to appoint somebody. Now the next one is the economic, the issue about the tenure positions. You know, he just mentioned about tenure positions. These are laws. Those laws are existing. You cannot tamper with somebody who have tenure positions and you say you're making executive decision. I think that mistake was very clear, and the president needs to revisit that decision to reinstate those people back.
Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, let me say good morning to the Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia.
Yep, let's hear you.
I have two concerns, and one, the Minister of Justice to quickly address them. One has got to do with those police officers that are to be retired, out of the retirement age. And then the recent incident that just occurred with the EPS officers who are demanding their just benefits. How far has the Ministry of Justice gone in addressing those concerns? Because those people are serviceable people to our country.
Okay.
So I want to speak to that quickly.
Thank you. We'll take 2 more calls, then we'll go back to the minister who needs to run quickly. Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah,
brother. Good morning to the Minister of Justice.
Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Andrew Lever Wilson, and I do join you from district number 12 to Southwest East Fashion Community.
Yeah.
I would like to ask the minister a question. Nowadays, we have seen a lot of political institutions and other groupings always come up with a protest, and some of the protests are not very cultural. So I actually want to understand if there is a legal procedure that an institution can take in order to be able to embark on a particular protest.
Okay, thank you. One more, then we'll go back to the minister. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine. What's your name?
I'm
Yeah.
I say, good morning, the oil minister, and the oil minister say that, there anything to say concerning about the matter already good. I want to follow for
which matter? Which matter? The CBL matter?
Yes.
Okay.
Not the line to say about it. So I want to tell you concern about the past matter that
Okay.
What you trying to say about
yeah, let's take this last caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
I'm calling from Carl.
Yeah, let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, congratulations to the minister for the trial. I want to know, does he mean when he say he's not? He's prosecuting an investigation conducted by the FCC and the Ministry of Justice, and now differentiate of this one.
Oh, your line is cracking. Anyway,
why they are being indicted by a grand jury?
Oh, okay, they are not being indicted by a grand jury. All right, Minister, you listen to the concerns, the calls there. You can just address them by calling it. Yeah.
Hope I remember all.
Yeah. So I think the last caller is asking about that those people were not indicted by a grand jury for which they were
Yeah, but unfortunately the caller doesn't understand that you don't take people to court only by indictment. You can take people to court on with arrest through the magistrate courts. Yeah. The first caller that talk about police presence at the CDC headquarters, killing of civilians and other reports. Look, the police will not just in mass get on the street for and then just probable cause. We all live in that bureau, we're on social media, everybody heard everywhere about protests, mass protests on Monday, everybody. We're all over the place and people are were apprehensive even coming to work on Monday and then. The police get the information, they have the intelligence, and they get on the street and people scream, what they put on the street for? So the police should sit down supinely and do nothing and wait, and just how they sitting down and waiting, all the intelligence, all the information I got in proved to be correct. And disaster hit. Then we will scream, the police did nothing, the police. Now, we got to know, whoa. The police didn't go there to stop anybody, to harass people. They wanted to make sure there was peace and order in our city. Now, protests. People have protests a right. It's a constitutional right. But it has to be in a regulated and controlled manner. Otherwise, it'd be chaotic in our country, everywhere else in the world. Like we tell you protesting. One, you protesting, your protest should not interfere with the rights of other people who are not protesting. I driving my car, you protesting, you block the road. You infringing on my right. I can't use the road. Sometimes you blocking the road. There could be a pregnant woman who somebody is rushing to the hospital, but she's stuck in that traffic for 2 hours. And something unfortunately happened to her. There could be a house burning down the road. The fire truck is running to go there. You block the road. So you have your protest action that was illegal by blocking the road and stopping the free flow of traffic has caused terrible consequences. So the police there to ensure that these things don't happen. It's not that they're stopping people from protesting, but you got to be controlled. Your rights cannot interfere the exercise right with the exercise of the next person's right. People got to understand that. Again, there's other government case I said is subject judiciary with the court. I don't want to make any comment here. I hear the thing about Martin calling letter and thing where Minister of State writing me anything, I can say categorically, I haven't received such a letter. I know nothing about it. And I think I got enough integrity that I will not come publicly over the radio and say something that even not the truth. So I don't know. The first time yesterday, somebody showed me something from Martin College letter. I said, I'm not aware. So Martin College got to look and see where he got a information from, that letter was written in me. Maybe if he got a copy of the letter, he said, but this minister just said I haven't received such a letter and know nothing about the matter. Okay. The War Crime Economic Code. Look, we have to understand that in every society there must be people there of integrity. And the problem with Liberia now, it seems that people believe that no Liberian has integrity, that will always do something and think there will always be underlying reasons and think why we'll do something. I don't understand. The War Crime Code is something that the polling have shown that majority of Liberian population want. So there will be no hindrance. We do our best not to interfere in setting up. There have been apprehension about appointment. Yes, as I said, these we will be local and see what inside. But we have to give things a chance to see how it work out. The retirement police officer, this matter is being looked into. We have the Civil Service Act. It's not the police that come out and say one retired officer. Civil Service writing all the institution. They are written the Ministry of Justice that certain people need to be retired. And we the institution and things, the agents have to implement that. I mean, if the issue of benefit and thing, there are things that can be dealt with and talked with and see what the law provides and what the regulation provides and how they can be handled. Not anything to for us to make issue and be at each other's truth. The dismissed EPS officer. I had a meeting with them Monday morning to look into the matter and see what can be done. But again, I tell people, government, and now you snap your finger today, you say this and what happened. This government doesn't operate that way. Government have to investigate, got to review, look at all the facts, look at what's there and what can be done. Sometimes it takes time. And we got to be patient. We got to be tolerant. So all the issues I've been looking into. Legal procedure for protest? Yes, there's legal procedure. You have to write the Ministry of Justice for a permit. When that letter comes, the Ministry of Justice will send it to the Liberian National Police to look at it. And they will call you in and talk with you and see where you want to do the protest, what the protest about, the routes you'll be using and things to kind of control in an orderly manner. So your right can infringe on the other people's right. That's all. That's what the law made for. So everybody can exercise their right in a free manner. But we can't allow you to exercise your right. That is stopping the other man from exercising his own right. Because you're protesting, everybody don't want to protest. Why you have the right to protest? The other man have the right to move from point A to point B.
Yeah.
So that's why the police and the Ministry of Justice is there to make sure everything is done in an orderly, peaceful manner. Basically,
yeah.
No.
I think that's all. Professor Thomas Kido is asking with the case with the LDA, the suspended buses.
Yeah, the LDA case.
Delay.
I don't know if there was a delay. Very wonderful investigation was done because they are security personnel. Or the board of investigation, the Joint Security Board, reconstituted, and that matter was handled for them. Or they were called, were interviewed, they investigated, evidence were looking at, they went to the site, they looked, and they prepared a report. I can tell you, the report has been submitted to the president. And he'll be making a decision shortly on the report.
Well, Minister, thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. I was glad to have been your guest this morning.
It was a good rap. Thank you very much.
Not too much turbulence.
As expected. Anyway, we'd like to give credit to ECOWAS Radio, OKFM, Banner FM, Pram FM. They all relayed this interview on ELBC Radio. My name is Vafle Kamara. You just listened to Councillor Osfar Tue, the Justice Minister and Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia.